Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Peter Anton. I'm an artist, and I'm going to talk today about what's the point? So, if you're doing your art, you might be inclined to think sometimes when you get down, what's the point of making art? I'm just drawing pictures. And then you might go deeper and say, like, what's the point of any of this, man? Like, what's the point of life? Well, okay, so there's one pretty much truth in life that I think almost everyone would agree to, and that is pain is bad, right? Pain is a self-evident truth that pain is if this pain weren't here, my life would be better. And then you can extend that to other people and say, well, maybe I could alleviate the suffering of other people. So I think if you're struggling for a sense of purpose and meaning in your life, you could start there. You could say, what are some things I could do to alleviate the pain in my life? Maybe I'm like, oh, my room is a mess. So maybe you start just by cleaning your room. Maybe you start, and this is a lot of stuff from Jordan Peterson, who's a great person to look at if you're struggling with meaning. Also, Naval Ravikant is another great person to look at. And that's where I'm going to be pulling a lot of ideas from. So I think our goal is not so much, you don't really want the reason for life, I don't think. I think what you're looking for is the feeling of being alive. So think about what are those things that make you feel alive. For me, I feel really alive when I go to amusement parks, when I travel new places, when I when I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and I'm doing live rolling and someone's trying to choke me or lock up my joints, or and I'm trying to do the same thing to them, so it's this war and you can't think about anything but survival and attacking, and you can't it's the ultimate form of meditation. It's just like physical meditation because someone's trying to rip your arm off or someone's trying to choke you out, and you just can only be in that moment. You can't be thinking about other stuff. So anything that gets you into that zone of feeling alive. And it's really hard a lot of times, especially if you're inclined to depression, to overthink things and say, well, because when you're not in that moment of feeling alive or you haven't felt it in a while, you begin to think it doesn't exist, and you look at the world through this lens, this negative lens of, oh, nothing matters, nothing makes me happy. And that might not even be true. It might be that things do make you happy, but you've jacked up your dopamine system on video games and porn, and so those are the only things that give you that thrill in life, and you've overexposed yourself to those things to try to jolt yourself into the feeling of being alive, that now those are the only things that bring you any sense of pleasure, and everything else is just kind of dulled. So I'd say certainly if you can begin to wean yourself off of those super addictive uh, things, that should help with your experience of happiness. I've heard it said by Andrew Huberman, I think is his name, that the idea that what is it? It's something like enlightenment is increasing the I'm going to butcher this, increasing the amount of things that bring you happiness. That addiction addiction is reducing the number of things that bring you joy. Like if you're a crack addict, then like crack is the only thing that brings you joy and thrill and excitement anymore. But then when you reach a state of enlightenment, the closer you get to that enlightenment, the more you can find joy in simple things like a beautiful flower, or on a rainy day, you can be grateful for the fact that the rain is falling and not bemoan the fact that you're getting wet. You can be grateful when it's snowing that, oh, well, it is snowing, but at least it's not a blizzard. Or it's, the weather might be bad, but at least I have my health. So being grateful for things, that helps. But to get back to the topic of what's the point of your art, well, it's to reduce suffering in the world, I would say, ultimately. So your job as an artist is to, speaking of enlightenment, if enlightenment is to, right, when you're an artist, when you begin to level up your art skills, you begin to see beauty everywhere. And that brings you closer to that enlightened state of things that bring you joy. Because now, even things that are ugly, like an old shed, you begin to see, oh, that's really interesting, that's really beautiful, because you've trained your artist's eye and you're looking at the world through those eyes. So that's one point of art, is it brings you closer, it gives you a greater appreciation for the beauty of the world. That's one point the reason that we create our art. Another reason is it makes other people happy. Right, now that's hard to see, especially if you're a newer artist like myself who hasn't fully developed. I would say I'm somewhere in the early intermediate, maybe mid intermediate at this point level. But not certainly I'm not at that super advanced level yet. So it's hard to see when you're at these earlier levels, your art is going to make other people happy. And also, if you've come from a place of being a really bad artist and you've gotten to a really good artist, and you can showcase that progress, you can share your progress, and you can say, I started here and then I ended up here. Then what you can do is start to inspire people. So that's another reason. You're not only reducing your own suffering, and you're reducing your own suffering because what are you going to do if you're not an artist? You're just going to be frustrated. You're going to do something that's not art, and you're going to be frustrated for your whole life. And that's why my mentor says, and I agree, that an artist isn't someone who just loves to draw. An artist is someone who, when you think about art or painting, you can't see yourself doing anything else. And that's true for me. I can't see myself doing anything else. I'm a painter, or I'm not. I don't have any career plans. Whether someone would give me the advice to have a backup career, I don't have anything. I've had people tell me I shouldn't be a professional artist, that I don't have the skills. And I don't hear that I can't do it. All I hear is you don't have the skills yet. And for me, that's just like, okay, so you're telling me what I hear. They are saying, yeah, don't be a professional artist. No one's going to pay for this stuff. It's not good. That's what they say. But what I hear is, if I acquire the skills, I could make a living as an artist. That's what you're telling me? Okay, I'm going to do it. And all that's required to get those skills is just go on the internet and find the best artists and learn from them, and then practice those skills for a period of probably like 10 years. And then I could be a professional artist for the rest of my life. Okay, that sounds great to me. So to get back to that topic though, you're alleviating the pain of frustration, right? Because if you quit art, you're going to be so miserable, right? You're always going to be thinking on your deathbed, or whenever you see other people succeed, you're going to be bitter, resentful, jealous, because you wanted to be an artist and you didn't go for it because you didn't see the meaning in it. But the meaning is that if you don't do it, you will be in pain. That's the meaning. And the other side of that meaning is that you're reducing other people's pain because you inspire people, you motivate people. If Bobby Chiu hadn't made his YouTube videos, if he weren't doing Lightbox Expo, if he didn't do Schoolism, I don't know where I'd be as an artist. I certainly wouldn't be as good as I am now, or as driven as I am now. Bobby Chiu has been hugely influential to me as an artist. So he's not just making his own art and being happy, and he doesn't even know me, but he's had a huge influence on my life. And so be like Bobby Chiu. That could be a purpose for you. That could be your meaning. Is how many lives has Bobby Chiu changed? Thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands. Probably not millions, but maybe a million. I mean, if you consider that you are at the center of a spider web, and then there's branches off. Probably he's indirectly influenced easily a million people. If you think about all the people he's influenced, who have influenced other people, who have influenced just at least indirectly, maybe not directly a million, but something like a million. So think about yourself as not just one person, but you are a person at the center of a giant network of people. The people you know and the people they know. You're at the center of all of that. So if you're a negative bitch and all you do is whine and moan, and you're like, oh, my life is so sad, oh, I'm terrible, oh, my art is so bad, I'm not going to make art, I'm just going to take this job I hate and complain about my life and be angry and miserable and resentful, and I'm going to go online and type mean things to people because I'm unhappy with my life. Well, that spreads to other people. It spreads to your family. It spreads to your friends. And if you don't find yourself alone at the end of that because no one wants to be around that shit, then you're going to be spreading that negativity around. Or you can take the opposite approach and you can be a positive person and you can encourage people and you can be kind and generous and friendly, and you can work on improving your flaws, and you can love yourself and spread that love because your cup overflows with love. You can now spread it to other people. So that's what I want to get at, is just, if you can't find meaning in, like, what's the point of art? The point is, it's what you're meant to do. It's what you've chosen to do. It's the way you're gonna spread positivity throughout the world and reduce suffering. Okay? That's the point. Is you can either make the world a little bit better or a little bit worse. And at the end of your life, on your deathbed, you don't want to be thinking, that you wasted your life by avoiding art because you didn't see the point in it. The point is, this is what you do. It's what you do. It's your mode of communication. So think about, what do you want to communicate with the world? What message do you want to send? How can you reduce the suffering of others? How can you help other people? How can you make the world a little bit better? That's your responsibility. The meaning is found in responsibility. So if you want to find meaning, accept responsibility. Say, it's my job to inspire people. It's my job to teach people. It's my job to get good at art in order to teach my students. Because if I don't learn this stuff, how can I teach them? So something Jordan Peterson says is, meaning lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. So if you want to get more meaning in your life, take on responsibility. No one's going to hand it to you. Accept responsibility. Become a leader in your community. Become someone that people want to follow. Become a person worth following. Become a master of your craft. Become a moral role model. Stop doing things that are hurting you. Stop doing things that hurt other people. That would be where the meaning of life is found. So with that said, I'm going to end the video, and good luck, take care, and do something today that makes you 1% better. That's all you need to do. Every day, just 1% better. So with that said, goodbye, love to you all, and good luck.